Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on August the 4th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of the data that's coming up on Wednesday, we have PMI numbers. Again, these numbers are important because they're precursor to retail sales numbers. So the PMI numbers come in better than expected, so it will be better than or it will be good for the currency. So we'll keep an eye on these. We also have, so these are for Euro and UK, so it will have an impact on both Euro and the pound. Now we do have ADP non-farm payroll numbers here. So these ones are important because we have non-farm payroll numbers coming out on Friday. So these give us a bit of an indication for how the non-farm payroll numbers will come up, which is a very, very important data point that we'll have to keep an eye on. So these are important. If the numbers come in higher than expectations, that would be a good sign for the US. And then we also have services PMI, so numbers for the US. Same thing here. If the numbers come in higher than expected, it will be good for the US dollar. So that's it for the data. Let's go on to the charts now. Okay, we'll start off with euro dollar here. For euro dollar, as we can see, price has been trading in a very narrow range over the last few days here. As we can see, price has tried to go into the resistance, has failed to go through the resistance level at 1.1900. But the problem here is it's stuck sideways. It hasn't broken the support. So we don't have a clear direction in this case as to where price really wants to go. So at this point, bias is neutral for euro dollar. What we need to see is, can the price break through the support, or is it going to hold above this 1.1850 level here? So it's been trading in a 50 pip range here and hasn't been able to break out. So with this one here, if it holds above 1.1850, then we're looking for a retest of the high at 1.1900. And if it goes through this, then we would be targeting higher at 1.1990. For now, though, bias is neutral. We have to wait to see which direction price wants to break through. If it breaks through the support, then we are looking for a retest of the low over the next few days. At this point, there is no clear direction for euro dollar, so neutral bias, and we'll just wait to see which direction price wants to break. Right now, looking for a sideways move between 1.1850, which is the support level, and 1.1900, which is our resistance level. So neutral bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, pound did turn around here. As we can see, it couldn't go through the support, did a big turnaround here. Now we're looking for a range bound move here. And in this case, interesting thing to keep in mind here is price hasn't broken through the resistance at 1.3940 yet. So if it does break through, next target is our high of this little range that price has been trading in. So first thing we have to check is, can it get through resistance? If not, then we would be looking for a downwards move. But if it does get through the resistance, then our next target is 1.3990. So, or actually we can say 1.40. So right now, bias is neutral to slightly bullish here. Because we do have bullishness in this candle. So we could see a continuation towards the resistance here. And the 1.40 level is a strong resistance level. This is where price has struggled with again and again. So this is where it could go to. But right now, it is also trading in a bit of a range. Over the last 4 or 5 days, hasn't really been able to break through this one. So at this point, bias is neutral to slightly bullish here. For pound dollar, next target is a 1.3980 and then 1.40. So neutral to bullish bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one has been trading in a range, and yesterday we looked at how price bounced off of the support, and we are looking for a move back into the resistance here. Today's candle close is bullish, but we had a bullish candle close a few days ago, which didn't go through. So right now price is into resistance. If it fails to go through the resistance at 0.7420, then we're looking for a move back down and back into the range again. So right now, neutral to slightly bullish bias here. Watch out for the resistance level because it can turn around. But the range that I'm watching right now is 0.7420 and 0.7330. So neutral to slightly bullish bias. If it does manage to get through the resistance at 0.7420, then we will target 0.7490. But until then, we are still looking for a sideways move here. New Zealand dollar, this one is breaking out. The job data here came out really positive, and that has given it a boost. We had a nice bullish candle close for the day, and already the price has moved because of the positive employment numbers. So with this one, bullish bias, next target is 0.7060. And then if it continues above that, we are looking at 0.7100. So bullish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here. This one has moved in both directions here. It's followed through on the bullishness in the candle. So overall, though, we have seen the we have seen oil drop, but commodity currencies have done better because the stock market is still doing well. So there's a bit of a tug of war between both the US dollar and Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar has been weak because of oil, but now we are seeing some problems here as well. So in this case, basically there is bullishness. So bias is neutral to bullish. And the reason we have neutral here is because price is into resistance here. Again, it has reacted at this level several times. We have a large pin. So similar to this one here, we have a large pin to the upside, which means things could turn around. So we'll watch out for that. Right now, neutral to bullish bias, next target is 1.2575. And if it fails to go through, then we're looking for a move back down. So neutral bias here for dollar CAD. So if it holds below this level, the resistance at 1.2575, then we'd be looking for a move back down towards 1.2500. So neutral bias here for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at our commodities here, starting off with silver. Silver in the neutral zone right now. It's been stuck in this slight, very, very narrow range with a slight bullish bias today. First target would be 25.60, then 25.78. So neutral to slightly bullish bias here for silver. Next one here, gold. Gold is also looking neutral, not a strong move for the day. It has slightly bearish bias. We may be able to see a retest of 1803, but doesn't seem to have a lot of momentum, which means we could see a turn here. So we need to watch out for that. Bias is neutral to slightly bearish. 1803 is the level to watch. And if it holds, we are looking for a turn or a price move back up again. So neutral bias for gold. Oil here, oil still dropping. Bias is bearish here. Now there's a pin in the bottom. However, bearish bias is still in place. So first target is retest of the low 68.80. And then we are looking for 68. So 68.80 and 68. So bearish bias here for oil. Copper still continuing on with the bearish trend here. It is into support. So do watch out the previous resistance of that big range that it got stuck in, now acting as support. So we are looking for a retest of 4.30. And if it holds, move back up again. So neutral bias here, neutral to slightly, it still has bearishness in it. So neutral to slightly bearish bias, 4.30 is the target here. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin also looking bearish. Now there were rumors about SEC cracking down on crypto, and that gives it a bearish bias. We see that price is trading in a range. It bounced off of the resistance here. Next target is 36,575. So bearish bias for Bitcoin. S&P 500 price is right into resistance. However, we don't have a strong bullish momentum. It did close bullish. It is into resistance though. So right now, neutral bias, it's right into the top. So either we need to see a break through this, and then we will look for a bullish move, or we see price reject and then come back down. Right now, we don't have a clear direction, so we need to wait. Overall, it is holding on to that bullishness, but we need to see can that carry it forward. So neutral bias to the top side, target is 4,500. So neutral to bearish, neutral to slightly bullish bias here for S&P 500. Actually, sorry, that was weekly chart. So here for S&P 500, still the same thing. Price is into the top of the range here. We did have a bullish day, but it's right into resistance, so watch out. If it breaks through the resistance, then we will look for that 4,500 level. Otherwise, we could see price come back into the range again. So we'll watch out for that. Bias is neutral to slightly bullish for S&P 500. And then for NASDAQ here, this one also looking bullish here. Target is 15,130, 140. So bullish bias here for NASDAQ. This has been trading in a range here. So looking for price to go towards the top of the range. And then our Dow Jones also into resistance. It's been holding this range here. Now, if it does break, then we will see that continuation. Because it's holding this, the support level here, it does have that bullishness, just like we saw with the S&P 500. So right now, neutral to bullish bias, watch out for the resistance. Last few times, it hasn't been able to go through, so it could just as easily come back into the range towards the bottom of the range, which is 34,780. So neutral bias here, neutral to bullish bias, sorry, for Dow Jones. DAX here, DAX closed right in the middle. And as we can see, price has been going sideways here, no clear direction. Bias is neutral, so I'm looking for a sideways move here between 15,680 and 15,400. So neutral bias for DAX. FTSE, on the other hand, this one is looking bullish and closed right into the resistance. Bullish bias here. Next target is 7140 and then 7160. So bullish bias for FTSE. Nikkei, though, Nikkei hasn't really done a whole lot. Neutral bias here. Today's candle close is completely neutral. So if price holds below 27,720, we are essentially looking for a drop. So this is an important support resistance level. And for it to continue higher, we need to see that break. But overall, though, last little while, bias has been, overall bias for Nikkei has been to the downside. Now it's been very choppy, so we'll have to be careful. But overall, if it holds, today's candle close is neutral. Friday's was neutral. So if it holds below 27,720, we're looking for a drop back down towards 27,300. So neutral to slightly bearish bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a great trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow with the new analysis. Have a great trading day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.